Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel at VAG Technic. We have the German RS4 here, and again video after a very long time. The car is here probably for a year now. We did start probably in May, so since we started in May that will be 1 year. But anyways, Mr. Frederick, hello Frederick, he dropped the car down to us in February I believe for the transmission work. It's a very special project, one out of one in the world, with the manual gearbox RS4 B8.5. And for those who were saying in the first video many months ago it will never work, well, that's why the car is still here. As I mentioned in the previous video many months ago, it's not a problem to do a mechanical swap for the gearbox for a manual. It will be a problem to do everything electronic wise to make it work. So we have to make the RS4 DSG think it's a manual. It has to identify as a manual. I want to thank to Phil from Mallory Performance again, doing the magic, because he had the car for a very long time. And I also appreciate everyone who messaged us or sent us an email to try to help us, but for us it was much easier to bother Phil a bit and bring him the whole car down and just spend a bit of a time with it. So it was a very long process of flushing, reflushing and flushing the ECU 7 million times to actually make it work. And believe me or not, we will show you later on, the car is at the moment starting and driving, and it also has power. So again, thanks to Phil, he sorted out the software for it, and also he's done loads of coding with VCDS to the ECUs. And previously, if you remember, we were starting the car just with a direct wire to the starter motor signal, so that was the only way how to start it. Right now, it's still not finished, I explain you why, but at the moment, if you want to start this sort of vehicle, you will need a key into the ignition, because it used to be, hold on, oh my god, it's broken. Okay, it's not broken. So it used to be a DSG, so you still have to put the foot on the brake, and you also have to press the clutch, and then the battery will die. But it started, so it's fine. So actually, the biggest problem was to figure out how to make the car to think it's in neutral or park. So I think the map, what Phil done, is actually done in a neutral map or parking map, but I think it's in neutral, I'm not sure. If Phil, if you're watching this, leave me a comment, what have you done? Anyways, we did have to sort out the wiring to the clutch pedal, because it needs to have a signal for the engine ECU, so it's actually there as a clutch position sensor to tell the ECU it's ready to start. It will not start if you don't press the brake or don't press the clutch pedal. You have to press both of them together to start the engine up. So yeah, I mean, we get to the point when you can start it as a human being through the start-stop button or with the key into the ignition, which is absolutely amazing, because I knew this will be the biggest issue. And I thought after this is sorted, it will be an easy job, a straightforward job, and it wasn't. Reason why it wasn't, because everything is done through a CAN bus, and as soon as you remove something, it's just everything gonna go crazy, absolutely everything. So after we took the car back, we thought we're just gonna finish it off, do whatever needs to be done, and Mr. Frederick can come down and pick up the car. However, there were small issue after small issue after small issue. I can't even actually tell how much the guys spent time-wise to sort out the problem, like with the wiring, thinking and trying, and you know, it was like, we don't know what we're doing, because we are mechanics, we've never done before something like this. I don't think anyone done something like this, because this ECU is actually used only with this RS4 B8.5, and also in the R8, but the R8 have two ECUs and is running 5 and 5 cylinder. So the R8 was a manual, so somehow it is working, but this is completely different wiring diagram, and it's just pain. So when the car was back and we were very happy with it, so we can finally use it, we did notice the fans are going crazy, both of them. As soon as you start the engine up, you couldn't actually even hear the engine or the exhaust. The only thing we couldn't hear was the fans blowing full speed ahead. So what was going on? Well, because the ECU is disconnected, which is there from the DSG, the engine ECU thinks that the DSG is overheating, because if there's no signal from the temperature sensor, it will think it's overheating. So the only way how to sort out overheating is put the fans full speed ahead, and it wasn't good. So again, I spoke with Mr. Frederick, and because Frederick is a person who wants to get everything done exactly precise, good, which I understand, we were scratching our heads here and there how to sort out the problem, because again, it's not about a switch, it's not about the relay. The front blowers have like independent ECU, and there are, I think, 4 or 5 different speeds. Also, one is for the engine and one is for the AC. We were thinking how to sort it out, and the only way how we actually managed to sort it out is we put a housing directly on the hose, which you can't probably see right now. Can you see it? From underneath here, maybe? No, you can't. Oh, there it is. Well, actually, we put a housing there with a temperature sensor to 96 degrees Celsius. And how it's working, it's actually, as soon as it will hit 96 degrees, there's a relay, and that will connect both fans together on a mid-speed. So that way the engine, mostly when it's stationary, the blowers will kick in to suck all the hot air out from the radiators, and it will keep it cool until 89 degrees again, and the whole process will repeat. So that was sort of an easy solution. We did have to find the correct housing. We also have to find the correct temperature sensor, which is opening and closing the relay in a correct way when the temperature gonna hit. So we don't want to have the car overheating, and also you don't want to have the fans running on constantly. So that was all sorted. Pretty easy work, front end off again, and loads of time spent, but it was sorted. Also, we did have a problem. There was a message coming on the cluster, and also it was beeping, which was quite annoying, that the electric parking brake fault was occurred. And if you check the parking brake as a module with VCDS, it actually shows a problem like no communication with gearbox. Don't know why that was happening, but it says no communication with the gearbox. So again, the guys were scratching their head what to do with it. We tried loads of stuff. We tried to change the coding. We spoke to loads of people again, couldn't actually figure it out. Then we thought, okay, this is a DSG, let's try to swap the ECU for a manual one from an A4 or A5. That didn't help, the fault was still there. Because soon as, again, you will remove the DSG from the CAN bus, it's missing there in the system, and nothing will stop it from not having the error message coming on. So I was a bit of a depressed, and I already almost gave up and get ready with Frederick to sort out like an extra parking brake for the rear somehow with calipers and do it manually or whatever. And then the guys were messing about with the cables. There's a parking brake module over there, and the guys were messing up with the cables, and actually what they done right now, the parking brake is still working on the original buttons. So let me just show you. So if you put it down, it's going down. If you put it up, it's going up. However, if you want to do a service on the brakes, you can't. Reason why you can't, because we actually remove the CAN bus wire from the parking brake ECU. That was the only way how to sort out the fault. So right now you can't read the faults. However, there's a fuse, I believe, which is removed. If you want to have it back on, do a service on the rear pads or whatever, you can just put the fuse back in. It will communicate with the car. You can open the calipers, close the calipers, calibrate the calipers. So that was the easiest way how to sort out the thingy, and the cheapest way as well, because when I was looking for a brake setup for something like this, it was like over £1,000 plus fitting. Plus you have to damage the interior because you have to put extra button or like a handbrake or foot brake somewhere. So pain. So that was all sorted. The fans, the parking brake, and clutch pedal. And now you're thinking it's all done. Well, error, no. So when we were driving the car, and I thought that would be the easiest thing to sort out from the whole job, cruise control. So that is the problem why the car actually is still here. So if you know how we should sort it out, give us a shout, leave me a comment, send us an email, give us a call, get in touch with us on WhatsApp, please help us, because we tried everything so far to our knowledge, This car actually had a radar as well, so because it was automatic, the automatic gearbox can actually handle the radar. And again, if we have a fault code that there's no communication with the gearbox, I changed the coding, the fault code was gone, and as soon as I put the cruise control on, it says ACC fault. Even I removed encoding the radar in the front. So I was like, okay, there's still a button. Well, there's no button now because it's here. So we replaced the stalks for a manual one from a B8, I think. Well, we had a part number for a manual one. So right now we unleash get to the point when I go with the cruise control to on position, it will actually show cruise control is on and I can select the speed and everything. However, I will go for a drive. I'll show you if I press the set button, it's not holding the speed. I don't think the automatic gearbox is necessary to have a cruise control. I think there's something what needs to be done with the wiring again. Maybe we need to put additional wires somewhere directly in the ECU, which we don't know, or we have to fully remove the radar in the front, which I don't think so, because I was checking loads of forums and videos. If people have problem with the radar, you can just knock it off and the cruise control still works. Also, manual cars have cruise control as well, so I don't think it's true an automatic gearbox. However, this used to be auto and only auto, and this wasn't a manual option, so I'm not sure if it's actually possible to do. If you have an idea, please let us know, because this is the last thing to sort out, actually, to give the car back to Frederick and he can enjoy it finally after 1 year, because he bought it and he dropped it straight to us, and since then he's here, unfortunately. So I will bring a VCDS now. I'll show you what's done with the coding and how it looks like and stuff, and we're gonna hit the roads afterwards. So we are in the car, we're gonna do a diagnostic, and also the central is working, central locking, because previously the car thought it's in neutral, or it literally thought it wasn't in park, which means the body control module didn't want to lock the car with central locking on the key. That's working as well. Thank you to Mr. Phil again. So let me just show you quickly what we can do or what we can't do with VCDS. So we try to do loads of things with coding. I mean, Phil actually done probably most of it, especially the central locking and the cars moving on full power and everything, so that's great. And when it comes to fault codes and stuff, of course, you know, there's engine off timer performance, okay, never mind, system voltage because the battery was dead. Also, the gearbox is actually mapped out as a fault codes from the engine ECU, so we don't have an engine light when you're driving it, but we need coding. So this is the coding what we have available. So it's manufactured Audi, blah blah blah. We can't change the 7-speed to nothing else. We were only able to change it to a manual, and that's it. But that didn't do absolutely anything. So I did switch off here everything what was like a cruise control here. So previously it was adaptive. We just put it as a normal cruise control. That didn't help. After I replaced the stalks, it was much better. But yeah, that's literally it what you can do. Engine, gearbox is not there, ABS brakes. Fault. ABS brakes, let's have a look what we can do there. Again, fault codes, parking brake, yep. No communication, transmission, no communication, this and that. We can actually ask Phil again if the ABS actually don't need changing something, but in the coding, there's not much. Tire pressure monitoring system is not there anymore. Automatic headlight is there, and that's it really. So not much we can change in the ABS, nothing to do with the cruise control, sort of. There's loads of modules where you can do coding and try to do loads of things, but unfortunately it's just, you know, we try to do it as much as we can, and I couldn't figure out what else to change because there's not much. Yeah, central electrics, if you're gonna have a look at that, the coding in cluster as well. So central electric is mostly for headlights and coming lights and all this stuff. I think there was something what we removed from the central electric as well, as adaptive cruise control. Yeah, distance regulation, adaptive cruise control installed with the drive select. So that was removed like from the MMI, but that is actually it. I was checking loads of forums and videos how people done a conversion, and actually all they've done in the coding was to click it has a cruise control and that's it. So in this case it's not working because this is auto only, and without the automatic gearbox, when it's not selecting drive, that's the problem. I think when it's not selecting drive or sport, that the car is physically moving, it will not hold the speed. So we have to somehow make it work with the engine issue, not with the like gearbox, which is removed. But that's just my theory. Yeah, never done it before. The problem is nobody done it before, so it's a bit of a try to hit the bullseye with closed eyes. But yeah, lap timer very important. Again, line assist, everything is switched off because this car used to have a line assist, not anymore, unfortunately. So again, that's it. Can't do anything, can't get away. We remove it from the list, like didn't help in coding. Again, not much we can do. It had the battery module, yeah, and generator link connector installed, and that's it. Can't do anything really. And lane change, let's check the lane change. No hot codes, good. Yep. So we have a test version control arm, it's on the mirror, and that's it really. Frequency range, left hand drive, and that's it. End of, see you later. And then probably we can just do a few more things, but like I said, we're running out of option, guys. If you know someone who's capable to do it with a CAN bus, like try to, you know, think there's a gearbox or do something, definitely let us know. I don't think this will be just easy sortable with a coding. I don't think so, because we're just running out of options. And whatever I change before I change the stalks from this to non-button one, it didn't even want to work at all. So basically it was showing an ACC fault. We gotta go for a drive to show you like what it's doing now. But manual transmission installed, clicked, which is good. Emergency brake. So yeah, not much we can do, guys, unfortunately. Yep, that's it. What else we've got here left? Parking brake, just to show you there's no communication now. It's disconnected from the CAN bus. Yeah, and it's working, which is the main thing. It doesn't show any fault codes, which is the second main thing. So this is a big project. Yeah, I mean, do it mechanically is not that bad, but sort out all these funny things, oh my god. Like good old cars when everything was like directly with the wire, because even we have to wire in the reverse switch, so you have a reverse light, because in Germany it's very strict, everything gotta be working properly. Also the parking cameras is working and everything, so you know, that's fine. This is really the last thing what needs sorting. That's everything what I can see in coding. Can't do much really, so we're gonna hit the road just to show you the car's really drivable and it's pulling and everything. But yeah, please, 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 if you can help us, it will be brilliant. Frederick will be the most happiest person in the world with a very special vehicle with a cruise control as well. So yeah, let's go on the roads. Okay guys, so we are in the European car, sitting on the left, which is not unusual because I used to drive loads of left-hand drive cars still. And we're gonna leave it to warm up a bit, and I'll show you like how it's working, what's not working, and all the funny things. Nahrávame. Okay guys, so we warm up the engine. I'm currently in Mexico on national highway, and we are testing Mr. Frederick's RS4. So I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera, but the cruise control, we have the numbers, but if I'm gonna press the set button, nothing happened. So it's off, it's on, but I can't just hold the speed, unfortunately. So it is a bit tricky. Like I said, if you know someone or you are the guy who's watching the video who can actually help us, I will really appreciate it. Also, I did told Frederick that he have to get used to the clutch pedal, because still it's a project car. The map is done by Phil, like it is working, but I think it can be like peaked to perfection, because right now with the clutch pedal wired into the engine module, it's sort of switching a map from unknown to a neutral where the power map is actually built, I believe. Yeah, as soon as you're moving and you're driving the car, you put your foot down. Oh yeah, oh yeah, love it. Yeah, I mean, I know the DSG have like specific magic, DSG farts, downshifts and all this stuff, but the engine is so alive with the manual gearbox. It just feels different, and I think this is the only car in the world as a RS4 B8.5 with a manual gearbox. It's absolutely like different. I would never thought I would drive a B8.5 RS4 with the manual gearbox. It is a really special car. However, special car needs a special driver, and I didn't drive the car for a while. I did have a bit of a problem twice when I come to a standstill stop from the first gear, because you have to find actually the correct way how to put it in there. But once you're moving, you are moving. So it feels amazing. It feels amazing with the gearbox. Wow, the torque is there. It's fun to drive. You can downshift. Yeah, so it is interesting. It's definitely interesting. If it was worth it, not worth it. We have loads of people spending money for other stuff, but you know, it's like a matter of if you want to get the stuff done or not, because everything is possible in the world, guys. You can do a million power BHP Polo if you have the money, but it's like, it really depends what are your wishes and desires. Yeah. So this was the movement from the first gear. I'll show you in a car park what it's actually like. And when it comes to wishes and desires, it's all about the money and the will. And speaking of money, how much all this costs, I have absolutely no idea. Reason why, we do all have all the invoices. Eventually I will be doing a total invoice, but Frederick actually brought himself a gearbox with the differential, with the prop shaft and some small things like the gear knob and stuff, and we supply the gear linkage, some other stuff to it, like the pedal for it, the clutch pedal with the master cylinder, new slave cylinder, the dual mass flywheel with the clutch, the lining to the slave cylinder and stuff. So I don't think material wise it was that bad. Of course, while the engine was out, we also did the upper timing chain covers and the tensioners, catalytic converters, done the valve cleaning and stuff. So I think that was a good idea to do it while the engine was out. And oh man, it's lovely, it's lovely. So yeah, as soon as I'll know what's the total price, because we will be probably dropping the car to Germany to Mr. Frederick, so I'm really hoping I will see him in person again, see what he will say. I also let you know what was the total bill. Labor wise, guys, I have absolutely no idea. Of course, we won't be charging Frederick like completely to the last minute, because we took the job on without any knowledge. Frederick was aware of it. Well, we sort of agreed like we will try to keep the labor wise cost as low as possible. If we make any money on it, I'm not sure. It will be like mostly for the interest, and I think we get to the point where the car is actually usable and drivable on the roads, which is good. That's a big progress. And the cruise control, if it's gonna work, happy days. If not, it will be a bit disappointing, I think. Yeah, but it's like, it really depends. It really depends. So currently we have a police car which jumped in our way, and I don't know what they're doing. Uh-oh. But yeah, I'll be going back to the garage. I'm just gonna stop somewhere on the car park to show you how the clutch is actually working and explain you the feeling because not all the time it wants to go, and you really have to find the sweet spot so the ECU knows you want to go. Okay guys, so we are on a car park in Mexico still, and I'm just gonna show you like how the car is behaving with the clutch pedal and everything. So if you're used to a manual car and you will put it in first gear and you're just gonna lift the clutch up and then you're trying to accelerate, it will nothing, and now it pulls. That was a full throttle for the whole time. Yeah, so this is something what needs to be tweaked, mapped out, mapped in, do something. Option number 2 if it's not possible, because I don't know, I didn't done the map. I'm actually happy that the car is moving. But again, put it in first gear, so lifting the clutch up, and I'm putting my foot down, full, nothing, and now it pulls. So I didn't drive the car for a while. You gotta get used to it, like how to drive it, how to operate it. But once you're rolling and you're gonna put your foot down now in low RPM, the car wants to go. So now you have 100% of throttle. You can do burnouts, which you don't want to do because Mr. Frederick ain't gonna be happy. But I just want to show you like how to have 100% efficiency that the car will be moving, because at some point it can be really dangerous. That's why I don't even went into the roundabouts like in a 100% confident way. I was waiting, it's fully clear, just in case it will happen. But I remember now, so if you put it in first gear and first you put your foot down a bit and then do a lift off on the throttle, you have full power straight away. So it's a matter of, well, you know, it's a project car. So, you know, if you're gonna get used to it, you can actually do even like a launch from stationary point. Yeah, so like I said, straight, bit of a foot, and now it will go always full. So the clutch will be probably worn out more than if you just lift it slowly and then let it go. But I think you can get used to the clutch feeling and the engine feeling to the point that you can actually drive the vehicle, but you have to learn how to drive it. And like I said, second option is, but you have to have a tuner next to you. He have to see what you're doing with the clutch, what you're doing with the pedal, and maybe tweak the engine map somehow so it's actually working as a proper manual car. Soon as you're moving first, second gear, whatever, it's reacting to the pedal lovely, so that's not a problem. But like I said, the clutch, when it's giving the signal to the engine ECU, it's basically like changing the map from the neutral where the map is to the park where the map isn't. So we can go back to the garage. I do have a bit of a problem with fogging windows right now, so I try to not have an accident. And also I heard, see now it goes. And also I heard the fans kick in, so the coolant temperature went over 96. So as soon as you're moving, it will stop. We'll see what will be the condition when we're gonna pull into the drive, into the garage. So then I'm gonna tell you some more smart things about it. So guys, we are back at the garage. There was a small show like how the fans are actually working, especially when the car is stationary and idling. So you've seen the fans were kicking in, cool down the engine bay, they switch off automatically, so I think it's working fine. Frederick shouldn't have overheating problems even during the summertime because it's set up to a certain temperature, and if it needs to run for a longer time, the heater blower will actually suck all the hot air from the radiators away, so that should be fine. Also, it is a very special car. I don't think it's just a car who can drive like anyone. You need to be educated before you drive it, because you need to know how it's done, how it's responding, how it's working. Also, the car was standing outside for a while, and when the guys were driving it in, they forgot how it's actually done with the starting procedure. So they were only depressing the clutch, and they were like, it's not starting, what's going on? And then I asked them, like, did you press the brake pedal? It was like, nah. So, you know, you can't be forgetting. Anyways, we get back from the test drive. I really enjoy it. I must say it is something special. It reminds me a bit the B7 RS4 manual, but this is a bit more torquey with more power. So I think it will be a brilliant car to drive around. I'm really hoping Frederick will enjoy it afterwards. Again, I want to thank you everyone who tried to help us from the beginning. And again, I'm asking everyone who's willing to help us with the cruise control, if you can help us, please help us, because Frederick would really like to have his car back ASAP. So we do have a deal. Either way, if it's done or not done, I will be taking the car to Europe for him end of March. So we have probably like a month time since now, probably, to get it done. I would really like to get it sorted, because it's like incomplete job in my eyes. But either way, I want to give him the car back so he can drive it, use it, and give me a bit of a feedback as well, in case we will figure out something new, how to adjust the map or whatever. We can still get it done, even remotely. And when it comes to the cruise control, I don't think it's an engine out job. So if I'll have any information from you guys or from whoever, I can give him a hint like, look, Frederick, this is what I was told. Do you want to bring the car back? You want to sort out in Europe? Maybe I'll go there for a weekend to visit Frederick in Germany, how he's living his life. We'll see. There's many options. But for now, I'm really happy we at least get to this point. It was a bit of a pain and challenge at the same time. Definitely big shout out to Mirko and Dave, because they spent most of the time afterwards doing the wiring on the parking brake and so on and so on and so on. And it's still not done. But I'm really hoping we will move on with it. And I'm really hoping Frederick will be especially happy with it, because this is his idea, his project, his car, and his money well spent. Don't know how much yet. I'll let you know when I'm gonna do all the calculations and when we're gonna drop car to Europe. So as soon as I know, I'll let you know. If you manage to sort out the cruise control as well, I'll let you know as well. And for now, that's all from the RS4 Part 2 manual conversion again. And thank you very much for all the support. And thank you for watching as well. Thank you for all the comments. We will see you in the next video, guys, with something probably different than the RS4. Take care for now. See ya.